All right, you guys, today we're going to be talking about flat feet. That's going to be what the theme is for about a week or two. If you saw the newsletter or if you saw the corresponding article that came out with it a few days ago, you might already be familiar with the topic, so we're going to go more in depth here. This is going to be part one of three parts. So today it's going to be the real cause of flat feet. Next, it'll be the problems that it leads to, and then how to fix flat feet. So, three longer videos. There'll be some shorts that come out too on YouTube here. But beyond that, let's just get right into it. So, I'm calling this the real cause because most people don't have the correct opinion of what flat feet is. They don't know why they have flat feet. They don't know why they have low arches. And I address this in the article. A lot of people like to say, oh, I just have it because it's genetic. People actually say this about basically everything. People say they have bunions because it's genetic too, which is crazy to me. So I'm like, well, you could have low arches genetically, I guess. You might be susceptible to having slightly lower arches, but not a flat foot. You're not going to be a weak arched, flat footed person, like not have good arch function just because of genetics. So, like I said here, while there's some truth to it, that's not the full story. What the full story is that your flat feet are actually the result of the footwear that you wear now and that you have been wearing forever. The reason that this is because, simply put, and I've actually got a good example of a shoe here, but footwear is mostly narrow-toed that we buy, conventional footwear. What that means is your toes, which would normally be spread a little bit, there would be room between them, is trying to fit into this tiny confined space. And this is actually how our feet end up looking. So your foot is trying to fit into that tiny space, so what it has to do is contort itself to get in there. And basically, the big toe, most importantly here, is going to get, pinched in. And it learns to stay in, even when it's outside of the shoe. So the shoe is the cause. There's really no debate about this. There's no other, populations around the world that don't wear shoes often that suffer from things like this. It's literally from shoes. I find it to be very straightforward, honestly. Especially when, like I said, we see how our foot remains the way that our shoe has contorted it. It stays like that even when you pull it out of the shoe, because that's from years of conditioning the foot to be like that. So basically, that is the cause. And now, why do we get flat feet from the big toe being pinched in? Well, what happens is the big toe is now in that position where it's pinched in, and the problem is that this basically destabilizes the arch. The arch relies on the big toe being out wider with a better positioning and functioning better, having strength, being able to grip the ground, being able to really use that toe, So basically, this destabilizes the arch, and the arch has no other choice but to kind of collapse. That's what it does. It's just like us. When we are not stable, we fall, where we struggle to keep ourselves up. So what this does is it creates excessive pronation. I'll call it overpronation. And this does lead to a lot of problems, which we'll get to in the next video. But for now, all you really need to understand is that you are destabilizing your arch, which is kind of the strength of your foot, when you pinch that big toe in. So this is pretty much where flat feet comes from. It's just the arch is weak because you're not using it properly. You're not using your big toe properly. This is something that we're basically all part of. We've really all suffered from our footwear messing with our feet. This is pretty much the whole theme of my branding, is that our shoes have been destroying us, So that's pretty much the basis of it. It's definitely not a complicated matter, and it is a completely fixable thing too. I won't get into that here because I have a tendency to make these videos too long, but in the next couple videos you'll be hearing the solutions. They're pretty straightforward, and yeah, we'll get to it then. For now, thanks for watching this. Make sure to like it and share it with someone who needs to see this. And while you're here, check out in the description, I'm going to have the article linked that I'm referring to and that I'm reading off of. And who knows, I might have a couple other links in there too. But for now, we'll see you in the next one.